What's going on, YouTube? It's James with ChiHammer Fantasy Battle Reports, and today's the day. Buckeye Battle, Round 1. Day 1 of Buckeyes. Now, if you guys don't know what Buckeyes is the biggest, the largest United States tournament. It gets the most people to show up. It's 102 people this year. 102. I don't know what it was in previous years. I know last year was just under 100, like 97. But we have people coming from Nevada, we got people coming from Utah, we got people coming from California, we got myself and my brother coming from Chicago, as well as the other Windy City boys. And we got a bunch of people from Ohio, of course, because it's from Ohio, from North Carolina, the Mid-Atlantic region, Virginia, all these people just coming out to Buckeye battles. And this is going to be a hell of a good time. So, the one thing about Buckeye battles is that the first round we're playing a blind deployment. Now, we sent in our lists early, so that way they could clarify if it's a valid list. And then, if you guys don't know, I did a review last week about everybody's army list, and that was it was 2 parts. One part was 3 hours, the other one was 4 hours. It's a 7-hour review. It is a huge review. So I went through everybody's list, and you know, some lists started to melt together, like all these Warriors lists. There's like 18 Warriors players, so those lists just started to melt in my brain as one list, right? So then a couple days after that, Jeff Parkhurst, which is the guy who runs Buckeye Battles, he actually put out who are we playing against. So on the drive there, we have a 5-hour drive, and we found out that the 3 of us that are in the car, which is my brother, myself, and Nick Creep from the forums, who we're playing. So Nick Creep is playing Skaven and AZ. My brother is playing Mark, I can't say his last name, from Green Dragon Gaming, and I am playing Anthony Carter. So basically, all 3 of those games are going to be YouTubed, which is pretty funny. So we're in the car talking about strategies, talking about how to handle each opponent. I honestly, as soon as I heard that Jesse was playing Mark, I was thinking, ooh, he got the short end of the stick there. He has the toughest match out of all of us. So I was looking at my opponent's list, and he has this Demon Prince, and I'm just like, oh crap, it's a Warriors list. And we're gonna go over those lists right now. We're not gonna go too much into detail in my list. Just check this text really quick because it might be important. Anyways, we're not going to go over too much in detail on what my list is. I'm going to actually do a whole video on my list because it's also my ETC list. So I'm going to do that after I get these Buckeye videos out there. So sorry to disappoint you guys, but I'm just going to run by what I have. Not really why I have it, just what I have. So we're going to go ahead and start off with my list. Now, first off, I'm in the corner, and I'm not kidding. I'm in a corner by a doorway that has no lighting. So basically this whole video you're gonna see blurry pictures and dark pictures because my camera had a hard time focusing in this dark corner. Nothing about the venue. The venue was great. It was a great time, and this table really didn't matter. It was just this one game that I played on this table. But anyways, so right here I got the idol of Chicken, the Great Green Idol, with his 3 attacks, 4 if he's devastating charges, and his impact hits, and his thunder stomp. From the First Order of Chicken, his name is Crom the Conqueror. Now Crom is yeah, like I said, a Great Green Idol. He's just fun. I love him. Over here I got the K-Pack. Now the K-Pack is going to get more upgrades after this video, but I kind of just had it done. These are my Goblin Wolf chariots. I got 3 of these chariots. They are just basically what I said. Goblin Wolf Chariots, 1 unit of 3. Over here I got a unit of Wolf Riders, 5 of them. I have King Koopa, and one of the best fucking pictures ever of King Koopa, because he's just like dark and luminous and just like creepy, and he's just like King Koopa is a Goblin King on a Huntsman Spider with an Obsidian Sword and Talisman of Supreme Shielding. This has been known, this has been known, this has been known. This is nothing new. Behind Koopa, inside those dark crevice over there, there's 30 cave goblins with bows and maggots, and then over here I got General Zod. And Zod, you must kneel before him. But Zod is General Badassery. Over here I got my my lovely unit of 46 common goblins, shields, bows, and shady gits. Got a war banner as well as the BSB with the pins of protection. if I said that right. Anyways, over here I got my my lovely spider, my space rock, and then on the cave on the left, you can see I have a unit. Actually, I'll just pull up this picture here. I got a unit of iron orcs, the iron boys, and then I got the bushwhackers. The bushwhackers are coming back out of retirement. I got 20 cave or forest goblins with bows and throwing weapons. So yes, you heard it right. I have forest goblins, I have cave goblins, I have common goblins, I have iron orcs and more forest goblins on top of a howler crew. I have more common goblins on top of chariots. I have goblins galore. So we're playing the blind deployment. Now I do know my opponent's list because obviously it was in the list review as well as it was in I was told who I'm playing against. So I'm thinking about this. I don't know where he's deploying. I know he was kind of griping about the river, so I know the river can slow him down. But you know who the river doesn't slow down? It doesn't slow down Koopa or the Space Rock. So I put them both on the river, hoping that they'll be able to get some juicy flanks and use the river as some protection from movement. I put the common goblins just to the right of the forest, so hopefully they have clear line of sight to shoot somebody on the other side of the forest. Don't know who I really have. Now, this guy does have every single unit in his army has a 3-up armor save. Every single unit except for his general. His general has a 1-up armor save and a 4-up ward. So we're gonna go over his list in a minute. But basically, this is how I deployed. So I put the idol agoric in the forest, hoping that he'll be fine in the forest. Doesn't really matter. Zod is next to him. Behind them is the cave goblins. Next to them is the K-Pack. Now the K-Pack is on the other side of the forest, hoping that they can ram somebody without worrying about DTs. And then I got the forest goblins in the ruins. For my opponent here, again, blurry pictures. On the left, he has a unit of barbarian horsemen. He has a unit of chosen of wrath. Now they do have. Let me see. I actually have his list right around here somewhere. Chosen of wrath. They don't have any banners. I thought they did. Anyways, everybody has halberds. Everybody go carry a halberd has a halberd. Anyways, over here you can see he has a chariot of true chaos. Then he has the giant freaking model in the middle. That is his DP. That guy has a 1-up armor, a 4-up ward, a razor, not a blade. So the guy has a shank on him. In all honesty, that kind of scares me because he's also a Lord of Change. He has 4 spells of shamanism. So if he gets any shamanism spells off, you have to wound him on 5s in close combat, which is not good. Not good whatsoever. Not only that, but he could pick if he wants a divine attack. He could pick if he wants a flaming attack. So the one guy this guy can kill is my general. He will rip apart my general. So my number one goal is keep Zod away from him, no matter what. Now, all these other units, he has another unit of Chosen of Wrath. He has another unit of Chosen of Lust. They have a banner that gives a movement boost to anybody standing next to them. That's infantry, so everybody's going to be moving 5 or 6 or whatever it is. And then he has a block of Warriors of Wrath. So basically his whole army has frenzy minus his general and the 1 unit in the back, which is kind of something I could take advantage of. I know this ahead of time. He has another chariot and more barbarian horsemen. So when we picked up the board, that's basically how it looks. And I'm just like, huh. Like I said, he's avoiding the river, which is smart by him. I could deal with the river, not a problem. My main goal is how do I deal with his general. And this has been my strategy since while we were driving there. But my number one thing, as you can see, he's vanguarding up. And I'll just leave it on this picture because this picture is a little bit more clear. And yes, that guy with the laptop right behind my opponent is Vince Venturella. That hand with the laptop. He's probably pulling up rules. Anyways, so my whole goal here is how do I deal with the DP? To be honest, the 3 blocks of Chosen don't scare me. I believe that Koopa, Zod, or the K-Pack can kill any of them. That's the truth. The main problem is how do I deal with the Demon Prince. I don't have cannons, I don't have bolt throwers, I don't have doom divers, I don't have anything that's going to be worth a damn to shoot at him, and the one thing I do have is bows, but I have to worry about a 1-up armor and a 4-up ward. He has to fail, and that's going to be really tough. He's going to basically march up. He wins first turn on the roll-off, so he's going to just march up in my face. How do I deal with him? So the one thing I was thinking of is he's only strength 6. He's going to have a hard time with Crom. The other thing I can think of is if he gets into my forest goblins, or common goblins. My common goblins have 4 challengers that can handle it before it becomes a threat. So I'm hoping that maybe he might fail a stubborn check and have some demonic instability. All those things come into my mind, but let's see how it plays out, because the blind deployment changes everything, and it's going to go ahead and start off turn 1, Warriors of the Dark Gods. Turn 1, Warriors of the Dark Gods, Anthony Carter. Turn 1, like I said, he just marches straight at me. It was just like no holds bar. Everybody's coming straight at me. I could see that my forest goblins are in danger. I could see that he kind of chaffed my chariots, where I can't really wheel past those horsemen without going the wrong direction, so I can't get to his unit right away. And he moves his general right in the forest, which is the smartest spot for him, because if I go in the forest, I won't be steadfast. Anyways, Magic Phase, he got 7 power dice. He goes ahead and he tries to break the spirit on my chariots. I stop this one. I don't deal with that shit. You ain't gonna stop my chariots. So then he goes ahead and he does Chilling Howl, so he gets a -1 wound on this whole bubble of guys near his general. He goes ahead and gives these guys Awaken the Beast, just in case I try to kill them. And that's about it. It's going to start off my turn. Orcs and Goblins, turn 1. For the record, he did not roll the bees, and I don't know where my spells are. We'll figure it out. Anyways, so I go for the charge. I'm like, fuck it. I'm like, if he flees with the horseman, I have a chance for a redirect into his chosen, so he kind of has to sit there and take it, which is fine. But I am trying to make sure that I don't get the flank of his Wrath over there. If I get the flank of him, he's going to hit me with his chariot, and I just lose my chariots as I ram his Wrath chosen. The good news is the forest goblins will be fine. He holds, which is great, and my guys go in. I ended up lining them up like this, so that way I'll be in the front arc, just like my plan was originally. That's basically it. What I end up doing is, let's get to the next picture, is I use Crom as chaff, and I run Crom right through that forest, and right in front of his general. I move my general out of the unit of Iron Orcs that I had him in, and I just move them to the side of the unit, so that way I have a leadership bubble. I move the forest goblins back a little bit, and then I go ahead and I move up this base rock and Koopa in the water on the other side of the water, making sure I'm out of line of sight of his chariots. And as you can see, like I said, I use this guy as chaff. I chaff not only the horsemen, but I also chaff the Wrath Warriors, so that way they kind of have to do a frenzy check. If they do frenzy check, they're going to be kind of blocked by their own charge, and they're going to be able to they should be able to touch me, make me wheel towards them, and then they're just going to bounce off their general. So it's just going to be a wasted turn, more or less. So that's basically how the table looks. Magic Phase got 11 power dice. I've been going by this whole theory of just use the purple dice for Magic Phase, and it's doing great. It's doing fucking ridiculously great. I keep getting 11s and 10s from my Magic Phases, which is just nuts. Go ahead and I do Twisted Effigy, and I found out that the new Buckeye dice I have really sucks and gives me a 1, like a giant middle finger to me. I try to just lower his spell ranges. I don't want him doing those Chilling Howl bubbles so big, stuff like that. So then I go ahead and I do a Pyro Flow onto this chariot. I end up getting a wound off. I go ahead and I do, I believe, Flaming Swords, and he stops me. But then I go ahead and I do Bewitching Glare, which is a stupidity spell in witchcraft. By the way, I have a witch doctor whose name is the Prophet. So the Prophet goes ahead and gives this guy Bewitching Glare, or Bewildering Glare, whatever it is. I think it's Bewitching. Which also gives him -1 leadership, which is really what I want. I want to give him -1 leadership, so that way everybody in the circle has -1 leadership. Over here, yes, you're not seeing anything. That is a non-metallic X. But my common goblins are going to start shooting at this guy. They end up picking off 1 wound, which I don't think I put down that they got this wound on them. But, and then over here, close combat, these fucking chariots just ram right through those horsemen. They're going to overrun, like I said, into the front arc of those guys, the Chosen Wrath, and they get in without even having to take a DT. Good boys. Over here, basically that was it for my turn. Let's go start off his turn, and I'm already laughing because I can't. I just can't believe this worked. He fails the leadership 9 reroll 2 times, and he stumbles forward with stupidity. Oh my god, his general is stupid. Oh my god. The great thing about that though is if I do get in close combat, I don't have to wound him on 5s because he's not going to be able to cast any magic this phase. Oh man. Oh my god. So he goes in and he takes the charge with the Barbarian Horseman. Oh, excuse me. It takes the charge with the Barbarian Horseman into my chaff to get them out of the way. Hopefully slam into Crom, I believe. His chariots decide to take it upon themselves to get his general out of danger. So they both charge into Crom, into the forest. They're both on his flanks, and they both get in. Just, you know, going for it. I think that's it. I think that's all that really happens. So, boom! This guy goes in, takes DTs, takes 2 wounds from DTs. This other guy goes in and boom! Takes 1 wound from DTs. I love it. Crom doesn't give a fuck. He's getting hit by impact. You need to roll 6s. He goes ahead in magic phase and he turns off the stupid spell and he's just like, that was such a waste. So close combat. With impact hits and everything, he ends up doing 2 wounds. I go ahead and I'm like, wait a second, that one on the right of me only has 1 wound remaining. Bach! Crom just punches it and kills it. Crom, you fat son of a bitch. So now he has a charge and 2 wounds. Technically, I would be steadfast if I wasn't in a forest. But my general and my BSB are in range. He has a charge, 2 wounds, a flank. I have 1 wound. I'm down by 3. I stick on a 6. I make it. I turn to face him, and now that chariot's in big trouble. Over your close combat, he whiffs, and when I mean he whiffs, he whiffs. He kills 1 dog. So he has a charge, a flank, and a wound. I'm down by 3 leadership, and I roll a 3. He's like, are you fucking kidding me? And I'm like, nope, that just happened. As you can see, that little token that's right in front of the dogs, that's hold the center, that's the center of the board. And I'm just going to stick there. It's going to start off, sorry, I thought I heard something outside. It's going to start off this combat over here. This combat over here, I go ahead and I do impact hits, and I just... Holy fuck, 3, 6, 9 guys. I think ChiHammer saved 1 of them. But as you can see, he ends up swinging back with the remaining guys, and they end up just destroying one of my chariots. They do get the +1 to hit, and they're pretty much wounding me on 2s, 3s, whatever. So I think they're hitting me on 2s, wounding me on 3s. They just rip apart my chariots. They do 5 wounds onto my chariots. There's only 1 guy left after my dogs and my riders attack. He flees. I decide not to chase because I want to be able to turn on my turn and charge it to something else. It's going to start off my turn. Orcs and Goblins turn 2, 3, 2, 2. So I charge the dogs into the Chosen of Wrath over there. I just want to keep going ahead and getting all these impact, killing off any warriors I can. I think I might have called out the Wog here. I charge Koopa and the Spider into the flank of his Barbarian Horsemen that are touching my dogs. I charge the Iron Orcs that are just sitting right there into that chariot, because this goes back to my original strategy from like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, where I said I have to bail my guys out when I can bail them out. Don't ignore those fights. Don't think they have it. Just go ahead and bail them out. So I'm bailing Crom out of that fight. I'm bailing my Wolf Riders out of that fight, and my chariots are starting a new fight over there. My General Zod is still chilling back because he wants to wait for his opportune time, which is coming. So everybody gets in except for the A-Rock. The A-Rock, or Space Rock. Space Rock fails it. Koopa gets in. The Wolf Chariots get in. I believe I called out the Wog just to make sure I got in. And then this is a random picture that I took. I think I just put my camera down and took a picture. Anyways, I decided to move my Common Goblins up because at this time I'm thinking to myself that his general might mow through Crom. This might be a dangerous situation, but if I take control outside the forest and just say his warriors come this way, I will be steadfast. He will not be if he loses. And not only that, but the Space Rock has my flank covered. Koopa will have my flank covered as well. Those chariots, I might lose those chariots right now, but like I said, I just want to get that impact hits and just do the damage I can. I keep my Forest Goblins back because the Forest Goblins, I'm just going to do Pyromancy spells, try to weaken his crew, and I keep the Witch Doctor, the Prophet, close enough to try to get another stupidity spell off. So that's how it looks. Magic phase, I got 12 power dice. I'm telling you, purple is the key, man. Purple. I go in and I do an Enveloping Embers. I get it off. He lets it go through. I try to throw it onto his giant block of warriors. I get it with double 6s though. I believe I miscast. I want to say I miscast. Maybe not. It goes off. It only kills off 2 dudes. That's it. He has a good armor save. Didn't really do shit. I go ahead and I do the Bewitching Glare, and he stops it. He's like, I already fell for that once. I'm not falling for it again. He stops it. Go ahead and I do a Flaming Swords onto my Wolf Chariots, and I had the dice to do it. He did not, and I just failed it outright. God damn it. I really wanted that +1 to wound because all the impact hits would be wounding on 2s. Didn't happen. Alright. Over here, shooting phase. Baxter and the boys, they're going to go ahead and shoot at some warriors. They end up killing off only 1 more warrior. And then over here, close combat, Koopa just eats 3 of the Barbarian Horsemen. Barbarian Horsemen might have killed a dog. Yeah, they killed 1 dog. But he's going to flee. He has a charge. I have a charge, a flank, 3 wounds. He has 1 wound and a flank. So he flees. My dogs chase. Koopa stands back to kind of stare at his options of what to do. And as you can see, the dogs caught the unit and ate the unit down. They actually earned points for once. Holy shit. Over here, close combat, I go ahead and I ram, and holy shit did I flop. I flopped big. Oh my god, I didn't get any. I got like 4 wounds off. He goes ahead and he swings and he rips apart my K-Pack. Poor Kogan Kaiser. And yeah, he just has free reign now. Over here, close combat. Woo! I think I took either Devastating Charge with Hand Whip and Shield, so he has a harder time hitting me, or I took Great Weapons with Devastating Charge. Either way it went, I destroyed that chariot. I don't overrun. I actually use these guys as chaff for a turn, and it's going to go ahead and start off Warriors of the whatever gods, the Dark Gods, excuse me. Warriors of the Dark Gods, turn 3. Now again, like I said, there's 18 players here with Warriors of the Dark Gods, jeez. Over here, so he charges with both these units. Now, they're both frenzied units anyway, so he would have to take a leadership check, which I don't think he would fail because his general's right there and his BSB's right there. But he has to charge the unit on the left to allow the unit on the right a chance to wheel. So, of course, I have to stand there. I'm immune to psychology, so I just have to stand there with my Iron Boys. The problem here is if the guys on the left fail their charge, the guys on the right can't make a legal charge. And guess what happens? He fails the fucking charge by 1. He stumbles forward and the other unit is still chaffed. He ends up charging his general into Crom. And at this time I'm just like, fuck it. Crom's going to take it because that's what I'm using Crom for. So he goes in, he stumbles forward like so, and then his units are coming around. Magic Phase, he got 4 power dice, and he fails to get any spells off. He tried a 2 dice to spell, which he failed miserably. Then he goes ahead and he does 2 more dice to another spell, and I use my 3 dice to stop him. And he was like, shit, I don't have Scarification up. So close combat, he goes ahead and he swings, and he whiffs. I mean, he straight up whiffs. He doesn't get a single hit, a wound on Crom at all. And so, at this moment, and yes, you're hearing a shy ambulance. This is a true story. At this moment, I look at my dice pool, and I look at the dice, and I see a Wrath dice that I got from Tunis and Witchify, Game 1 of Buckeyes last year, and then I see a Tzeentch dice from Tunis and Witchify that I got at Buckeyes Game 1 last year. So I'm looking at both of these dice, and I'm like, well, I'm fighting a Warriors of the Dark Gods guy. He has a Tzeentch Lord. Who is more likely to hit on the Tzeentch Lord? Is it going to be the Wrath dice or the Change dice? Wrath dice, Change dice. I couldn't decide. So I go ahead and I grab another dice, and I said on a 1, 2, or 3, it's going to be Wrath. On a 4, 5, or 6, it's going to be Tzeentch. So I roll the dice, and it shows me a 6. Just a big, powerful 6. And I'm like, it's going to be Tzeentch. Tzeentch is going to do this for me. I'm not kidding. I really did have this conversation in my head. So I grabbed the Tzeentch dice, and I said, I'm going to crush attack your Demon Prince. And he's like, okay, you need a 5 to hit, which I get, because Crom has shitty accuracy. I roll the dice, it shows up a 6. I'm like, holy shit, Tzeentch did it to himself. The Lord of Change doesn't like fake Tzeentches. He was like, I don't like this. This guy needs to die. Hits him. I go ahead and I roll the next dice. I roll a 2. It wounds him. A strength 10 hit. He ain't getting no armor. So he goes ahead and he rolls the ward save. He rolls a 2. Holy shit. I roll to wound and I get 3 wounds on him. This guy only has 1 wound remaining. Crom just nailed the crap out of this demon prince. He was like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. I win combat. He passes his stubborn check, and it's going to start off, I believe, my turn. Orcs and Goblins turn 3. Orcs and Goblins turn 3. Whew, check this out. Zod! Zod is going into those guys. He's like, you can't even make that charge legally unless your guys charge in with him. I was like, nope. I could just skim past my own guys and get into the tip of your guys, which I'm going to do. And I get in and boom, like that. Fucking Zod, you fucking animal, you. Alright. So then I use my Iron Boys. I don't charge them in, but what I do is I use them as chaff, and I move them up this way, so that way if for some forsaken reason he doesn't die, he reforms, he moves to the side, I don't want to give him a flank charge into Zod. So his warriors, if they do charge, they're going to charge my Iron Boys and run past Zod. That's my goal. Alright, he had that one guy actually rallied on a 4. Koopa's coming around the backside. The Space Rock is looking at the hole, basically covering covering my common goblins in case they need it. And then my Force Goblins getting in range to shoot shit. And then I'm keeping the Prophet with the Cave Goblins back to keep throwing up that Witchcraft spell. Purple dice! Switzerland and Zinch. That Zinch dice loves me, I swear to fucking God. I was screaming every time he popped up like, Zinch! 12 power dice. I don't know why this is working. This shouldn't technically work just because they're 2 purple dice. It wasn't even the same 2 purple dice. It was constantly a different purple dice, but the purple dice together love magic phases. It was just like boom, purple, 10, boom, 11, boom, 12. Go ahead and I do a Pyro Flow, kill off that one rat bastard who rallied. He just kind of had to let it go through because he really needs to stop that leadership spell. Go ahead and I do Bewitching Glare, and he actually just is like, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm in combat, and if I fail, what I'm trying to do is make him fail that stubborn 8 roll. But he's like, it doesn't matter if I lose combat. I'm going to die anyways. And I was like, good point. But it's a remaining play, so hopefully it just stays up if Crom dies. I get it off with Irresistible Force, and I end up killing off 5 of my Cave Goblins. Nothing really happens besides that. I go ahead and I do Flaming Swords, he stops it. I do Immolation, he stops it. I want his warriors to take damage from running. Over here, close combat, Zod rams the crap out of a couple guys, shreds the rest with freaking paired weapons, and I wipe them. I'm not shitting you. I wipe them to a man. I killed every single one. And you know what? It's time for an overrun. Zod's just gonna overrun and boom! Just take out the fucking BSB's unit. Holy shit. Zod is on a rampage, and his other warriors can't do a goddamn thing about it. They cannot wheel past my Iron Orcs. Oh my god, Zod is just like boom, 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 just ramming everybody. Fucking Zod. I missed you, Zod. I missed you so much. You are a fucking animal. Anyways, over here, close combat. Holy shit, he ends up doing 2 wounds onto Crom. Crom fails to hit him the second time. And I think right now at this moment I'm not even doing the crush attack. I try to do the 3 attacks because it's just I need to get 1 wound through, just 1 wound through. So I go ahead and I do the regular attacks, and with the +1 to wound, and I just miss. I mean, Crom's weapon skill 2. He needs to hit on 5s. I rolled like a 2, 2, and a 3 or something like that. It's gonna start off turn 4. Demons. Warriors of the Dark Gods. Warriors of the Dark Gods turn 4. He does charge into the Iron Orcs. He's like, I can't do anything about it. They're in my way. Let me kill this unit. So he charges in. Magic phase. He got 5 power dice. And yeah, nothing really happened in Magic phase. He might have got the spell off. I think he did get a spell off. +1 to hit, or +1 to wound, or -1 to hit. I forgot which one it was. It doesn't really matter though, because he got Scarification up, which is a shitty thing for me right now. But anyways, close combat. He has the challenge with the BSB or the champ, whoever it was. I beat the crap out of that. I'm gonna just use this picture temporarily. I beat the crap out of that guy. I get impact hits. I do extra hand weapons. I shred that guy apart. Now, I got a charge and 4 wounds max, so I have 5. I win by 5 roughly. He doesn't get ranks because he's light troops. He does get a BSB and a banner, right? So he's down by 3. He does have stupidity up on his general, so he can't use his general's leadership because it's -1. Alright? So he's basically down -4. He rolls it, he fails it, he rolls it again, he fails it. They're light troops, they are not steadfast, and Zod fucking chases that unit down. Fucking Zod, you are a fucking animal. This is exactly what my plan was, by the way. My plan was just to hold up his general while Zod and Koopa run around killing the rest of his shit. That was honestly my plan from the car ride. That was just like, I can't believe this actually worked. I can't believe how well Crom is just holding his DP. So his Demon Prince goes ahead and does another wound onto Crom. Crom is not steadfast right now. Crom is actually just stuck there. For the record, his general does not fly. His DP does not fly, even though he has these massive wings. That's one of the reasons why the chaff worked. But he did a wound. I lose combat. I'm leadership 8. Leadership 7 because I'm not steadfast in the forest. And I fail it. Crom actually runs. He chases Crom. He catches Crom right in front of my common goblins. And it's going to start off my turn soon. So this is a very tough situation, tough choice coming up right now. Over here, close combat, he's going to rip apart a bunch of my black orcs. He just kills, look at that, 3, 6, 7. 7 of my black orcs. I have a couple left. I failed to hold him. I think I killed like one guy back. But I'm going to run, and when I run, he chases this way towards my forest goblins, and it's going to start off turn 4, orcs and goblins. Turn 4, orcs and goblins. I charge. I have this unit. Most people who know me know not to go into this unit. I'm going to put up General Akbar right now. This is a fucking trap. You do not go into my common goblins. You do not send a single character into my common goblins. I'm sorry if I'm giving away my strategy right now, but you just don't. I charge in with my common goblins. I'm going to have a charge, banner, BSB, war banner, 3 ranks, and I'm going to give you 1 chump to challenge, and you're going to kill my chump, and I'll be winning by 3. You're steadfast on a leadership 8 stubborn check without a BSB. All I need to do is have him fail that stubborn roll once, and he dies. All I need to do is have him fail that stubborn roll once, and that Demon Prince is dead, and my common goblins will kick his ass. The one problem I have is if he kills every single one of my shady gets, my champ, and he gets to the point where he has to challenge my BSB, I'm in a very shitty spot because I'm in the forest. If I'm in the forest, I can't be steadfast. That's a very shitty situation, but I charge in anyways. Okay, I decide to use Koopa. Koopa's charging the rear of those warriors that are chasing my iron orcs. Koopa doesn't make it. He's too fat. He stumbles down. Zod comes around. The Wolf Riders come around. The Space Rock comes around. The Forest Goblins move out of line of sight. And guess what? My Iron Orcs rallied, and they turn around to chaff him again. They are just the chaff machines. Magic Phase. I have all these dice ready. I have our spells ready. But anyways, Magic Phase, I got 10 power dice. I didn't use a purple dice. Why didn't I use a purple dice? But that Zinch dice loves me. I love you, Zinch. Anyways, Zenich, whatever your fucking name is. But I got Enveloping Embers. I got Flaming Swords. I got Pyroflow. I got Immolation. I got freaking Twisted Effigy. That's not going to do much anymore. But what do? I go ahead and I do an Immolation. Because if he charges my Iron Orcs, I want him to run through it and take, what is that, 12, 13, 14 hits? Strength 4. That's fine. I really want to get the Flaming Swords off of my Forest Goblins. He knew it. He stopped it. I go ahead and I do a Pyroclastic Flow onto his warriors. It goes off a boosted version, too, because I'm barely in 12 inches. And he lets it go through, or I don't think he could stop it because he tried to stop my Flaming Swords. And I just rip a hole right through these guys. I kill 7 of them. 7 with 1 fireball. Holy shit. I get it with a miscast, though, and I end up taking out 7, 8 of my fucking Forest Goblins. Now, my Forest Goblins do have the Banner of Discipline, so they're not running. I've learned that the hard way. I have to give my Wizard Bunker Banner of Discipline. Oh man, I lose the spell, unfortunately. Can't use it again. I go ahead, he dispels my freaking Bewitching Glare because he doesn't want to be stubborn. Or stubborn on an 8, he wants to be stubborn on that 9. So I go ahead and I use this opportunity to go ahead and I move my Cave Goblins up. I move my Cave Goblins in range to throw the Cownado! The Prophet sends out the Cownado. The Cownado is going right into my Common Goblins. I don't care if it kills like 10 or 12 of my Common Goblins. It can't. It can only kill 6 max. Roughly. 6 max, yeah. But all I need to do is get 1 wound through on his general, and his general's dead. All I need is that 1 wound. I'm pushing for it, right? And what you do is when you push shit out at somebody, you're gonna get shit. And so what ends up happening is Cownado goes through, hits this fucker, okay, hits the combat, does 6 attacks total. 3 on my Common Goblins, 3 on his general. I get 2 wounds on his general. The fucker ward saves both of them. Oh my god! I kill 3 of my goblins. It happens. Whatever. I have 50 of them. They'll live. Alright. Shooting. Blurry picture. It's like I'm drunk. Anyways. Over here, the Force Goblins with Bazooka and the Skull Splitter shoot at his warriors. Kill off 4 more of his warriors. As you can see, this warrior's unit's getting depleted. And then over here, close combat, I challenge with my champ. He just kills the champ. I win combat. He rolls that stubborn roll. He rolls a 4. Whew. Okay, I got 3 more chances at this. I could do it. I could do it. It's going to start off his turn. Warriors the Dark Gods turn, I don't know, turn 5, 4, 5, 6. I forgot what turn. You'll see it at the bottom. He's going to charge into my Ironworks. Whatever. Ironworks are there for chaff. They're there to die. It's going to happen. Close combat, or I think, oh, magic. Magic. He goes ahead and he does break the spirit onto Zod. He doesn't want Zod charging. I'm like, you know what? It's only going to be 4 DTs. Zod will be fine. Whatever. Close combat over here. He rips apart my Ironworks. My Forest Goblins don't care. My dogs do. My dogs actually flee. He has to charge. He has to overrun because he's frenzied. He runs right into that immolation. I don't even think he lost the guy. I think he's fine. I only hit like 7 guys, and I think I rolled like shit. But at this point, he's like, for this unit to survive, I just have to keep running. I have to keep running away from Zod and that spider. Which is a fair assessment. But I have him right where I want him. Over here, close combat, I challenge with the Shady Git. He kills that Shady Git. He loses combat. He rolls the stubborn check on a 9, and he gets a frickin' 8. Whew. This bastard. He won't die. He's going to go through all my Shady Gits, isn't he? Alright. He has Hellfire, apparently, that goes through into my unit. Now, this is something I'm curious about, because he says, even if the challenge happens and he does max wounds on that, the Hellfire still hits the unit, still kills guys, and it doesn't affect the challenge. It doesn't even affect combat res, he said. It just kills the one guy, or the whoever it affected. It's going to be Orcs and Goblins turn 5. Orcs and Goblins turn 5. I'm like, well, I got to rethink this. I only have 2 Shady Gits left. There's going to be 1 in this fight, 1 in the next fight. What happens on the following fight? If he doesn't fail this stubborn check, I am going to die. I'm going to lose my biggest unit. And not only that, but right now those Common Goblins are actually holding the objective. So I charge Zod in, long charge into those warriors. Alright, I fail. I fail the charge. Don't even have to break the spirit. I'm hoping the Cownado comes around, kills that guy. Cownado goes the wrong way, and the other freaking warrior, the other fanatic actually dies to doubles. What am I gonna do? Shit. So I come up with this conclusion. You can barely see it in this picture, but I move Koopa right behind his DP. Right behind him. Koopa's gonna have to be the hero when we need one. Alright, magic phase, I got 7 power dice. I go ahead and I do Bewitching Glare. I need him to fail this fucking stubborn check. I need him to fail by 1, and he dies. He just won't fucking die. Go ahead and I do the Forest Goblins for the shooting phase, kill off 1 warrior. And then over here, close combat, I give him a Shady Git. He kills the Shady Git. He passes his leadership 8 check. It's not even a rerollable check, but he passes it again, and I'm down to 1 more shady get. I end up reforming into ranks just in case I'm not keeping count of my ranks properly. And yeah, his Hellfire kills another guy or two. His turn. Warriors of the Dark Gods turn 6. Is it his turn 6? No, it's his turn 5, I think. Yeah, I think it's his turn 5. Magic phase, 4 power dice. Goes ahead and gives, I think he tried to break the spirit onto the spider, and I'm like, the spider really doesn't care, but what he's trying to do is make sure he has scarification, so I can't wound him on a 5, or anything better than a 5. But, he sees Koopa coming from his Y. And I'm like, the spider really doesn't care. I mean, the spider's coming this way to clean out the warriors with Zod, but at the same time, like, Spider Strider, everything. Anyways, close combat over here. I challenge with my final Shady Get. He kills my final Shady Get. Gets all 4 wounds on this final Shady Get. He passes the stubborn check again. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is getting iffy. He's going to stick there. I'm still making sure that I'm inside. I reform into ranks like I said, but at the same time, I need to make sure I'm exactly 6 inches away from the objective. I cannot lose that objective. I have to hold here, and this is going to be the moment of truth. Turn 5, Orcs and Goblins. I charge Zod in. I charge the Space Rock in. I even charge the Goblins in. Now, granted, the way that my Forest Goblins and my Cave Goblins are choke holding the spot, I realized I can't actually connect this charge. So I actually just let the Spider and Zod go in. The Cave Goblins fail the charge. It happens. I'm not worried about it. It's cool. The Cave Goblins really didn't need to go in. I was just doing that for the hell of it. Koopa goes in, and I'm going to say it on 3, 2, 1. Koopa! You fat bastard. You better do it. You better do it. You're my final hope. Help me, Koopa One Kenobi. You're my only hope. Alright, so Koopa goes in. I get off Flaming Swords on the spider for the hell of it. I get off Bewitching Glare because I need this guy to fucking die. Koopa cannot be Thunderstomp, and Koopa challenges that big bastard. Come at me, motherfucker! So Koopa challenges in. He goes ahead and swings. He gets 1 wound off with Divine attacks. I grab the dice. I'm like, well, he's going to be hitting me on... he goes through my armor. I mean, he is strength 6, AP 1. He gets through my armor. I have a 5-up armor save. I fail it. Okay? So I grab 2 dice. And this gets confusing in a minute. I grab 2 dice. I'm like, well, I need a 4 on one of these 2 dice. He believed for some reason... Oh, no. He did 2 wounds. He did 2 wounds. The first one, I roll 2 dice. I get an armor save, and 1 failed. Then I rolled both dice for the ward save, and I think he thought that one of the armor saves failed. And I said, I need just one of these to be a 4. It was. Koopa is fine. Okay. Over here, close combat. He challenges with the champ. Zod rams the shit out of the champ. The spider goes, and the spider just wipes out the whole unit. Holy shit. And it's going to start turn 6. Orcs and Goblins. Magic phase. I get 4 dice. Magic phase. I try to give this guy stupidity. I do. Now here it goes. Here's the moment of truth. This is the last picture of the game, by the way. He goes ahead and he swings. He gets 3 wounds through. Koopa fails all 3 armor saves. Koopa makes 1 ward save that's stuck. He did 2 wounds onto Koopa. Again, he can't Thunderstop. Now, here's where, like I said, it got confusing. He's like, yes, that guy is dead. And I'm like, no, he's not dead. He still has 1 wound remaining. And he goes, no. He's like, he's dead. You failed earlier. I was like, that was a divine icon. I rolled it twice, but I just rolled 2 dice at one time. He was confused. I explained. We're cool. We both agree. That's what happened. So I roll Peggy. Peggy doesn't do shit. I roll Koopa. And I see that glorious 6 sticking up. I see it, and I'm like, poison, no armor save. He rolls that fucking ward, and Koopa killed that fucking bastard. 2 years in a row, Koopa killed the Demon Prince. Woo-ha! Fucking Koopa. Koopa, you fat, glorious bastard. You saved the fucking game. Holy shit, I got the objective. I got a huge fucking win. Turn 1, game 1. Holy crap, it's a 20-0, and Anthony was a great opponent. He was a gracious opponent. He's also a fan of the channel. But holy crap, this was a hell of a first game. I'm not kidding, I was sweating buckets when the Shady Gits were going down. I was sweating buckets the whole time the Demon Prince was up and alive. I was just like, shit, how am I? And I was sweating buckets the fact that I had a giant forest in my fucking way. I was like, this is not good. This is just not good. Koopa saves the fucking day. Holy crap. Now, granted, there's plenty of people here who could be the MVP. And I'm going to give the death blow to Koopa, so Koopa gets the additional 200 points for killing the general, and I'm going to give the Goblins some points for holding this bastard up for 2 turns while I kill the rest of his army with Zod and the Space Rock. But the true MVP here is Chrom. Chrom is the MVP because not only did he hold this bastard, but he put on those 3 wounds. He killed a chariot. He killed the other chariot. He freaking held this guy and made sure that after his stupidity, he had nowhere to go but into Chrom. And Chrom held him for 2 to 3 rounds of combat before Chrom failed. Chrom is the MVP, and if you guys don't like the Idol Agoric, where you guys don't know what you're missing, because Chrom held a DP, and not only did he hold the DP, he did 3 wounds, which allowed Koopa to kill this bastard. So Koopa got the final blow. Yes, Koopa, I love you, you fat bastard. You probably deserve the MVP just as much as the Chrom does. You know who else deserves the MVP just as much as those 2 guys? The Prophet. The Prophet giving this guy stupidity and making him fail that stupidity check once was priceless. It made my whole weekend. That was so funny. But Chrom is the MVP. Let's go over the points really quick before I get to the next picture. And let's see. Alright, your points are popping up on your screen, but look at this. General Zod fucking ripped up. By the way, you guys are seeing combined numbers. Even though this is round 1, I'm combining my 0.5 round, which was my game against the Creep before we got here, because I wanted to add up the points to see a bigger average on who is definitely worth keeping in my army. But as you can see, General Zod just raped the points. General Zod got 1,631 points by himself, ripping apart warriors, ripping apart Chosen of Wrath, ripping apart Chosen of Lust, ripping apart the BSB. Zod was the man, or I should say the orc, the boss, That is why he's General Zod. King Koopa got 632 points, killing some barbarian horsemen and doing the final blow onto that DP. Baxter the Pyromaniac got 433 points here for pyromancy, but he also got an additional 228 points with the bushwhackers throwing the skull splitter shots into it. Bazooka and the Horde got the final got points for the final wound on that DP, but they also got some points for doing a wound onto the chariot. The Cave Gobos unfortunately did absolutely nothing except for house my boy the Prophet. The K-Pack actually got 700 points. I think the K-Pack's going to do pretty well in this tournament. We'll find out. But they got 700 points this round. They're at 1,100 points total, which is actually pretty decent. The Chicken Rock got 304 points, just killing some pathetic warriors that were remaining there. But the Chicken Rock is doing pretty hot with 1,800 for 2 games. Chrom got 1,093 points for killing 2 chariots and doing 3 wounds onto that DP. The Raiders should have, I think, like 180 points, or I think it's 160 points for those barbarian horsemen. And then the Iron Boys got 203 points for killing a chariot and killing off a warrior or 2. So that is the points. Guys, if you're looking at this next picture here, this is my opponent in the next round, round 2, James Valdez. He brought out his Warriors of the Dark Gods. Yes, I played 2 Warriors of the Dark Gods back to back. Like I said, you had a 20% chance of playing a Warriors of the Dark God army. But he brought out the Eye of the Beholder, and the eye of the beholder is his general on a Zinch disc. So he has a theme thing going on. He has freaking knights running everywhere, and this game's going to be a hell of a doozy. But we'll get there when we get there. I am happy with the performance of my army in the first round. Everybody played a role, except for the cave goblins. Everybody played a role, and it was an important role, and it got me the big win. Let's see if they can continue the trend on game 2. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you do, hit like, hit share, hit subscribe. I'm sorry it became an hour long, but like I said, I was really excited about this. This is fucking Buckeyes, guys. This is where the games are made. This is basically where legends are made. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Hit like, hit share, hit subscribe. If you guys do enjoy my content, please show your support by going onto my channel and going onto my Patreon and signing up. Anything helps. It will help me get to Salamanca, Spain, which is costing me a lot of money, to be honest. So that's why I keep on bringing it up. Guys, I need your help. Show your support by going on Patreon and donating anything you can to show me that you show your appreciation. Besides that, and if you guys want to buy me alcohol at ETC, don't buy me alcohol. Show me your support by freaking donating to my Patreon. I don't drink. I'm sorry. I just don't drink. I'm a health nut. Somewhat. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next video. Can't wait to make these videos. I'm actually staying late at work right now just to record this. So I hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and peace.